Good morning, Sainers, and welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to Saints TV Weekly for June 2nd, 2025. As always, thanks to Inglewood Coffee Roasters. Check out their website at www.inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au. You've got discount code, and you've got discounts on coffee, tea, chai, all of their amazing products. I've had a couple already this morning, and why wouldn't I after yesterday's awesome performance against the D's? We took them down. 28 points, 63 to 91. They were hugely inaccurate, but I feel like that was a lot to do with our own pressure on them and made their shots tough. And we took our chances down the other end thanks to Dan Butler having an awesome return, 4 goals, and obviously Isaac Keeler and Cal Wilkie down back. Got Mosh man of the match just recently. You can tell I've got a bit of energy. I'm a bit up and about. It's the bye, so we don't have any stress of worrying about Saints footy for a weekend, which is awesome. And we can just worry about this win and what an important win it was. So we came out of the blocks. I mean, my review's already out. The watch along with Woody was awesome. We had over 160, 170 people tune in, which was a lot of fun. And we'll definitely do that more for away games in particular. But we came out of the blocks. And the D's, to their credit, pushed us in the second, kicked, I think, 3-7 or something like that. And at times it kind of looked like maybe it would be that sort of honourable loss where we come out of the blocks and can't really stem the bleeding after that. But it was a really mature sort of performance. 6 goals in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, and then 3 goals to 0 in the last. Max Hall kicked 2. It was just a complete performance, team performance. Every quarter was tough. The umpiring was a bit dodgy. And Melbourne threw everything at us, generated a lot of shots. But at the end of the day, if you don't take them, you're not going to win the game. And we've been in the opposite position last week against the Suns. 1 goal, 6 in the third. You lose the game by under 20 points. So, you got to take your chances. And we did. And it wasn't just the senior players. It was Naz, it was Max Hall, it was Travalia kicking a ripper goal, Isaac Keeler, Caminiti down back, Ronnie Burns, my boy, did pretty well. I'm missing a few there. Hunter Clark on return in the guts. Well, not on return, but really kind of getting back into his groove with Zach Jones and Steele. Windhager, I can't forget Windhager. It was an all-around perfect performance, and that's a great spot to be in heading into the bye. So if you want to see my full thoughts on that, check out the review. And if you want to rewatch the watch-along, see the key moments in the game, check them out as well. It was awesome fun. Quick update on an injury. So this was kind of the only sour moment of the game. Was like 3 minutes in, Mateus Phillipou went off, which looked like, I think, a calf strain, I believe. Ross Lyon did cover it, and he said it's pretty simple. Lower calf, minor end. We think he'll play post-bye. He sort of tweaked it at training, but was all clear, pretty low-end stuff. They felt it was something they couldn't manage to get back on, but he should be fine. So that's awesome news. That is best-case scenario. It is not a long-term injury for Phillipou, and with the bye, perfect. He can come back, hopefully, against the Dogs on that Thursday night. And we've got a number of other players that might look likely to return around that time as well, which is exciting. And Naz will be there, ready to go. He was in a heavy bump, which I think should come under scrutiny a little bit more. But because he didn't get concussed, I can see them just saying, he's not concussed. Let the Melbourne player off. But he clearly went past the ball, took out Naz. It wasn't even a free kick. 4 umpires looking at it. It wasn't even a free kick. And it was play on. I think then Melbourne got a free kick like moments later, which I thought was ridiculous. So umpires had an absolute mare yesterday, but Naz was a ripper. Came back on, did his concussion test, came back on and was, close to the man of the match in the second half. So that brings me to the injuries. So the current injury status is Jack McRae. This was before this game. So 1 to 2 weeks. That means after the bye, he's going to be ready to go. Liam Stocker after the bye, ready to go. Paddy Dow, about 2 to 3 weeks away. Dougal Howard, about 3 to 4. Zane Cordy, about 5 to 6. Max King, it's TBC, but the club did have an update. They reckon round 18, Sainers. Round 18, I think that's a Sunday afternoon against the Swans at Marvel. Round 18, okay, that's 6 weeks away. Let's see what we can do. Apparently, he's back into sort of full running. No problem there. His body's in a really good condition at training. I dare say in the next couple of weeks, he'll probably get more into contact training, and then he'll build into it for hopefully a return round 18. That'd be super exciting. And even just to get a month of Max King Saints footy, just to see how we go about it, and the form of Owens and Sharman, even Keeler with King, and maybe we haven't even mentioned him, but the Flying Viking, who played in the VFL on the weekend. which brings me to VFL. Perfect segue there. They played Frankston, went down by 36. But the best on for the Zebras was Harry Boyd had a monster game. 69 hitouts. Holy shit. Didn't even know that was even possible. 69 hitouts, 10 clearances, 18 disposals, and a goal, if you don't mind, with 5 tackles. That is an enormous performance. Hugo Garcia, we could have easily buckled and brought him in this week, but we kept him at it, and he delivered. 1 goal, 35 disposals, 12 tackles, 11 clearances, which is a game high. That's a huge effort from his part. Liam Henry, a goal, 17 and 9 tackles. He's building nicely. Ari Shawmaker, 19 with 6 marks. Angus Hasty, 24 and a goal. McLennan, 16 with 5 tackles. Lance Collard, 1 goal, 9 disposals, and 2 tackles. Alex Tyree, no score, but he had 10 disposals and 4 marks with 2 tackles. So that's a solid effort back from his suspension. James Barrett, 7 disposals, 4 tackles. And Patrick said only the 3 disposals, so I don't think he played the full game. So overall, there's some players there at Sandy that are going to be banging on the door, and obviously players returning from injury on our end means that hopefully by the round 18-19 mark, we might, I dare say, see our full team. We haven't seen our best 23 on the park for the whole season, for maybe a season and a half, I dare say. So I can't wait to see what happens when we've got all those players available and what Ross decides to do. I think it's going to be a very exciting time. And I know some Saners might be a little upset if we do finish the season on a high, but our fixture is tough. Our next 3, the Dogs, Collingwood, Fremantle away. Tough games, but I love it. I'm excited to play all 3 of those teams again. Into AFLW, and there is some AFLW news. The season campaign is going to get underway on the 17th of August, so not far away. The fixture has dropped. The team will travel interstate on 3 occasions to Cairns in round 4, to Sydney in round 8, and Hobart in round 11. So we'll host 6 games at RSCA Park over the 12 rounds, including some big games against Collingwood and Richmond. So Sunday, 17th of August at RSCA Park against the Crows. It'll be great to get back into the AFLW swing. And to close with some tipping news, we have one winner this week. 1963 Sainter, number 1, 7 out of 7, and got the closest margin on the Thursday night, 8 points. So extremely good performance there. There was only one other person that got 7, but their margin was 39. So 1963 Sainter, congratulations. You have won the weekly prize. And to everyone else, continue to tip, lock them in. We've got the bye, but remember, there's still footy to be played. So make sure you get your tipping in. There's a big Thursday night game. This round actually in particular, I looked at the fixture. It looks ridiculous. So many games are going to be very, very difficult to tip. You got Bulldogs, Hawthorn, Adelaide, Brisbane, Essendon, Carlton, Collingwood, Melbourne. There's some ripper games. I think it's North West Coast or something? There's some very interesting games coming up. So no Saints footy this weekend, but plenty of Saints TV content. So on that note, Saints, that is Saints TV Weekly for the 2nd of June. Thank you very much for tuning in. Check out my review. Check out the watch along. We've got the podcast tonight, so send in your questions for that. 5 things we learned out this afternoon. We've got Woody's video on Tuesdays. And we'll try and bring up some new content. Obviously, no football this week, so there's certain shows that won't happen, but we'll try and make up for it with other ways. So thanks very much, Sainers. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the win that was yesterday, 28 points against Melbourne, and I'll keep you updated on any breaking news during the week. So thanks very much. Take care, and as always, go you mighty Sainers. See you guys.